This was a favorite to many people because, of course, this is what started the new revolution for iPhones. I mean, this design has held up the same way from when it came until the boxy design in iPhone 12, but it still kept some features from this device. And in today's video, I'll be telling you whether or not if you can get this device in the year 2022, because 2021 is almost over. And so without wasting much time, let's start today's video. As I said earlier, this was a very interesting device to most of the iOS users since it introduced a lot of new stuff to the Apple design in terms of one, the notch, two, the bezel-less display without a home button, and some other internal features that will work around on the UI of the Apple iPhone 10. Now, this phone was made in the year 2017, specifically September 12, and it came alongside the iPhone 8 Plus. But this was different because, of course, the design is completely different from what we had on the iPhone 8 Plus. Now, unfortunately, Apple doesn't make these devices anymore. They don't produce the iPhone X or 10 any longer. They only have the iPhone 11 on their website and the iPhone SE 2 and upwards, like the 12, 13 series. So if you are going to want to purchase this on the Apple site, you are not going to find it. Earlier this year, before the iPhone 13 came out, they were having some refurbished units on their site. Yes, refurbished units. They are not bad devices. They are just refurbished. They had some on their site, but when the iPhone 13 came out, they stopped making these. So if you want to get some of these, you'd have to go online like eBay or Amazon for a used one or a refurbished one that's still on sale on there. And with that one, you're going to get it for around $300 to $350. Or if you're someone who's here in Ghana, you can actually purchase one from a retail store that sells used devices. But you should please take note, as there are a lot of fake ones going on now. Again, it's going to come in around $300 to $350, which would relatively somewhere around 1,800 to 2,400 cedis. I'll start off with the design and work my way into the device. Now, as usual, the design was a 5.8-inch display, so it's quite smaller than the regular phones we have now, but quite comparable in size to the iPhone 12 regular. And this is not a very bad thing. I mean, it has a very good form factor, so you don't have to stress with the hand gymnastics when you're trying to type stuff or play around the display. You can just have a one-handed usage if you are somebody who has huge palms like mine. But then again, this is a 5.8-inch display, not just a 5.8-inch. This device was the first iPhone to come with an OLED display with HDR support. So if you're watching YouTube videos, you get HDR support on there, which gives you very crisp and detailed videos in terms of video quality if you are streaming content on Netflix, YouTube, or any video streaming site. Still on the design, the rear side is made of glass, so it's a bit uncomfortable to hold sometimes because the aluminum frame is quite slippery sometimes. And talking about the aluminum frame is where you have the tactile buttons, the volume up button, the volume down button, the do not disturb button, the charging port, and the dual speaker system on the iPhone X. Again, you have the SIM tray there, so you need to make sure you check all of these when you're buying the device. They could be misplaced, and that would give you a caution that you are not probably getting the original version of the iPhone 10. Now, the rear side is where you have the Apple logo, the iPhone written boldly there. Anything else written at that side means it's a fake, and you shouldn't go ahead to purchase it. And again, you have a dual camera setup. We'll talk about the cameras in a bit. Now, with the display, you can stream content at 1080p, Full HD, 60 frames per second without worrying about anything. It does have a little toll on battery life, and sometimes your phone heats up a bit if you do it for a longer period of time. Now, talking about display and all that factors, we'll look at the UI. You're coming with iOS 11.1 right out of the box, which is upgradable to iOS 15. Now, I'm using the iOS 15 now on this device, so have Apple supporting you for almost 5 years or more if you get this device. So iOS 15 is not the last stop. You might probably get iOS 16 or iOS 17 upwards, because even the iPhone 6, which is a very older device, supports iOS 15. So Apple updates, very solid. You'd still get recent updates that would come on the device. Now, my variant here comes with a 3GB of RAM and 64 gigabytes of internal storage. Although there is another variant which is 3 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of internal storage, which is what I personally would recommend if you're somebody who is planning on getting the iPhone 10 in the upcoming year, or the last few weeks we have now to Christmas, because bigger storage would really help you, as you don't get the ability to add an expandable SD card, which is a normal thing we all know about Apple devices. So if you get ones with a bigger storage variant, you're good to go. Although it will cost you some money, but you know, that would be the best option for you to get. Now, this was the first iOS device to come with a gesture mode, that is swiping between apps and switching between apps. Yes, and this was because of the absence of the home button. So they brought in the gesture mode to help you swipe between apps and have seamless interactions with your apps, user interface, and you know, other stuff. So let's talk about the battery. 2,716 milliamp hour battery capacity. Sounds quite small, but we know Apple processing and optimization, you know, you'd still get enough battery to run you through the day, except for the fact that most of the time I use this device on 100% battery life. It took me close to 6 hours. That is if I wasn't so heavy on the device. So in a day, you could charge your phone about 2 to 3 times. Now, talking about charging, the device charges quite slow unless you pair it up with Apple's fast charger, which is I think 15 watts or 18 watts. It will charge your phone quite fast, but not as compared to some fast charging speeds on Android. So that would be a bit of a side catch in case you're in a rush and your phone is down on battery and you really want to get it charged fully. You have to wait close to an hour to 30 minutes or 2 hours to get your phone from 0 to 100%. So that is quite a downside for this device. If you're someone who cares about charging speeds and battery life, yes, battery life, you are getting up to 5 to 6 hours screen on time, like I said earlier. All right, let me finalize everything with the cameras. Picture quality still looks great in good lighting conditions. If you are not having the best lighting condition out there, I'm sorry, you miss out on a lot of good details that this device gives out in terms of photography and videography. Now, in terms of photography and videography, there are some modes you need to try on. Now, there is a 12 megapixel f1.8 shooter for the rear facing camera that does so well in terms of giving you that bokeh shot you look out for when you're taking portrait shots. It's not a feature I personally use more often, but it does so well in that arena. The selfie camera, though, is not something that is much of an impressive one, but still gets the job done. And I'm really glad Apple is still keeping up with such a device. You know, going higher, the iPhone 11, 12, 13, they do have a very clear and crisp picture detail because of their standards. So if you're somebody who doesn't really care about that, then you're good to go. Now for video, the selfie is capable of recording video at 1080p 60 fps at maximum, whereas the rear cameras record video at 4K 60 fps. Now that's, I would mention that it gives you battery life problems, so it does take a huge toll on battery life if you are going to work around filming videos at that resolution. I personally would advise you to film in 1080p 60 fps, as that is minimal and reasonable to handle with on the device. I mean, it gives you the option to save up some storage and not drain your battery whilst you are doing your video shoot. That's it for my experience with the iPhone X or the iPhone 10, and let me know if you would want to purchase this for maybe a loved one this festive season, or you'd want to get it for yourself personally in the upcoming year. Let me know in the comment section and let's get interactive. I personally would not advise you to get the iPhone 10 if you're somebody who is going in for an iPhone, but if you're someone who is coming from the iPhone 6 series, I mean, you can definitely get the iPhone X, except for the fact that battery life would be of a bit of a problem. I would advise you though that if you're low on budget, you'd really try and save up a bit to at least get the XS Max. But if you're not somebody who is who is not okay with holding a very big device, then the iPhone 11 should be a good deal for you as well. But hey, it's not my budget, it's your budget. So if you plan on getting the iPhone X, it's still a good deal and could hold up for a couple of years to come in from 2022 thereabouts. I'm DELPPY, and thanks for watching this video. I hope to catch you once in another one. I'm DELPPY, and thanks for watching this video. I hope to catch you guys in another one. Stay safe, peace out, and don't forget to subscribe. I still spoke for 13 minutes.